Hi loves, welcome back. Today we are doing something a little bit different. I decided to try to make my hand at making my own bread because believe it or not, I'm tired of going to the grocery store and finding that the shelves have very slim pickings. It's either the brand I want is not available or the ones left on the shelf is close to its expiry date. So let's jump right into this video. So I started off with 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour. And now I am adding 1 packet of Quick-Rise Instant Yeast. And these come in, I believe, so these come in 8 grams. And so all you need for the measurement of the 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour is actually just 1 package of the Quick-Rise. And again, that's an 8 grams per package. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And so I'm just measuring my teaspoon here. And the next thing that I will be measuring is 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And guys, it's my first time baking bread. So honestly, the recipe is very straightforward, and trust me, if it wasn't, I wouldn't be sharing. So the next thing you see me adding is 1.5 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. And then I added 2 tablespoons of honey. So I personally switched out the sugar. The recipe that I was using called for sugar, but I don't use white sugar, so I chose to use 2 tablespoons of honey. So now what you want to do is you want to add 1 cup of water to your dry mixture, and you're going to roll your bread. You're going to knead it. And so you see that I added a little bit more flour only because I felt that the 1 cup of water might have been slightly too much. So after you roll your flour, you're going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and you're just going to let the bread sit. So what you want to do is let it double. And so it took about an hour. After it's doubled in size, you're going to knead it again, which is what you see me doing here. So I'm just trying to get it as soft and bouncy as possible. So I cut my bread in half because initially I wanted to do 2 loaves, but once I cut it, I realized that they were going to be like mini loaves. So I just joined the 2 loaves together, and voila, there we have your 1 loaf. So I'm just making sure that it fits nicely in the pan that I'm going to bake it in. And then you're going to cover it again. So you let it rise for another 45 minutes, guys, before you put it in the oven. And it's 350 degrees, and you bake it for 45 minutes. And guys, honestly, it was my first time, and I must admit, look how soft this bread is. Look how spongy, which is what you want. You want to make sure that your bread is nice and soft, and it's pretty much how you know it's ready. And so there you have it, your first loaf of homemade bread. Enjoy.